Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'm going to be going through how to set up your crochet journal for April. I honestly cannot believe it's already going to be April. I'm hopefully going to get this video out before the first of the month so y'all can make it before that. But as always, grab your crochet journal and let's get started. Alright, so here are the materials I'm going to use. You're of course going to need your crochet journal and a pen, some markers. I have both brush tip markers and felt tip markers. You can use whatever you want to. I just have both of these because I use a lot of colors, and some of the colors I like better in this one, some of them I like better in this one. And then you're going to grab your highlighters, and just so y'all know, I'm going to try to have everything linked in the description below in an Amazon link. So if you see anything here that you want to get for your own crochet journal, check that out. So let's get started. Alrighty, so first going on to Pinterest, I'm going to go ahead and go over to my board for my crochet journal. And let me find it. There it is, because I have a lot of ideas saved on here. So let me scroll and see if I have any for April. Ooh, I like this one. It was for March, but I think you could do it for April too. It has some really cute flowers on it, so that's an idea. Let's see here. Hopefully for May, I'll let my Instagram choose, but for this month, I'm just going to try to find it myself again. It actually looks like I didn't save that many new ones, so let's go ahead and search, and let me show you how I search. So if you're looking for anything for your crochet journal, just go ahead and search April bullet journal cover, and it should come up with a ton of different cute things. So I kind of like this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save what I like to my board, and I will have the board linked below so y'all can go through and see some of my ideas. Oh, I like that one too. And I'm just going to scroll through here, find some of the ones that I like. It looks like there's a bunch of flowers. There's a really cute butterfly one, little camera. That's a simple one. Let me show it to you in more detail. It is this cute April with pastel tulips on it. And there's a cute cloud one that I like. Right, so coming back into my board where I have everything saved, I'm going to have to pick something now. And I am honestly at a loss. So I'm between this one right here, which is super cute. Pretty simple shapes too. And this one also I really like you could do all sorts of different colors or do what they did and just do black. Or I really like this one. It has the little camera and daisies. So I don't know, y'all, there's so many options. So in the next clip I will have chosen and we'll see what I do. Alrighty, so I've officially chosen this one right here, and I'm actually going to do it a little bit differently than how they do it. Ooh. So I'm going to be making the camera, of course. I'm going to do the camera in my favorite color, which is a army green olive color. So let's go ahead and get started. This one's going to be a little bit of trial and error, so we'll see how it goes. Something I did not mention in the beginning that you will need, but you will definitely need, is a pencil. I like using mechanical pencils, but use whatever you would like. So I'm going to go ahead and flip to my page. I am going to leave a couple pages because it is currently the 29th, and I have some ideas for pages I want to do. So we're going to go ahead and start right here. And we're going to go ahead and start out by sketching the actual shape of the camera. This is styled after the Fujifilm camera. Let's get started. Okay, so to do this, you're going to go ahead and just start out with a square shape with rounded corners. So in the middle of your paper and a little bit down, you're going to go ahead and draw a rounded square. Just like that. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Now you're going to go ahead and go over here a little bit down from the top in your left hand corner, and you're going to draw a curve going out bring it down, back in, and then in just like that. And then you're going to go ahead and erase your line right there, and then connect slightly right there. So that's what it should look like at this point. Now you're going to go ahead and on the other side, you're going to indent a little section, just like that. Trace the outside line, and then draw a little loop. So it's slightly indented from the corner. Alrighty. Next, you're going to go ahead and draw your lens, and it's just going to be a circle, but you're going to want to get your circle inside of that indentation that you made earlier. This may take a couple tries, but I'm going to get it. So it goes in and around, just like that. And make sure you get it nice and rounded. Don't be afraid to use several lines. Just make sure you're working with pencil. And then you're going to draw a smaller circle inside of that one, making sure you're getting an even all the way around. Then you're going to draw an even smaller circle right in the middle, and that is going to have a little oval in it. And then you're going to do this simple shape in the middle. Ready. Then to the side, you're going to draw a little bloop, just like that. Then up here, you're going to draw a longer one of those bloops. That's the little light, I'm pretty sure. And then you're going to draw another one of those bloops, and this time you're going to put 2 dots in the middle of it. And then you're going to go ahead and write Fujifilm. But since mine looks different than theirs, I'm going to go ahead and add the detail of a long swooping curve. You're going to write Fujifilm, ILM. And then you're going to draw your last couple details over here, which is this, and then you're going to draw one in the middle, shade it in, and then do marks just like that. Then you're going to draw one more circle with a little highlight off to the side of it, and then you're going to connect this line right here, bring it out just a little bit, and I'm going to erase that bottom line right there and redraw it. So we're going to bring it up a little bit further and then in like that. Love it. Okay, and then last but not least, we have a little oval that goes into the side right there. Awesome. So now I'm going to draw the calendar part, which is the Polaroid. So making 2 marks where the Polaroid comes out and 2 more marks where I want it to be at the top. Then we're just going to connect all of those lines together. I always like pulling the lines towards me so I can draw straight. Then going in slightly, you're just going to do another small line, very, very small, right inside on all 3 sides, just like that. Alrighty, so now we're going to draw the daisies, and there's going to be 2 of them. So you're going to draw 1 circle here and then 1 circle here, just so we know what they are. And then you're just going to draw ovals, but, well, they're not quite ovals, so they go out and slightly smaller at the end, just like that. And do that on the little one too, but do it a little bit smaller than the first one, just like that. And I think I'm going to add 1 more right here, but do it really small. So do that one, and there we go. I love that. Alrighty, so now they have the April up here. I think I'm going to do the April right here though. So I'm just going to do my lettering following exactly what they did. Like I said in my last tutorial, I can copy pretty much any lettering. So if you want to do that, just kind of look at it and see this shape of the lettering, and then work the shading. And the shading is really, really, really important. And I'm just doing it lightly so I know where to do it with pen. And I just realized I did it off to the side too much, so I'm going to erase it. Alright, I feel that is a lot better. So last but not least, they have a border going all around the edges. And for this, I am going to use a ruler. And then measuring in, I want it about 1/2 inch in. I'm going to draw a pencil line very lightly along the side, just like that. And do that on all of the sides, going in 1/2 inch. It does not matter if your lines overlap. That is what the pencil is for. And you can kind of play around with it and see if you like those lines. You could just leave the lines off. This is just personal preference. I'm trying to copy the Pinterest pin to the T. And last but not least, we're doing the bottom, just like that. Now we have it all the way around. And actually, now we're going to go ahead and go in with pin on all of our outlines. So I'm going to start with the camera just like we did before, but this time you're going to want to make sure to where you see those lines coming through the petals, you're actually just going to do like this, bring it down and stop right before the petal, draw any of the camera that comes in between the petal, and then continue because the flower is in front of your camera and you don't want it to look like it is not. So that's how you do that. And now I'm just going to go over the whole thing with pin and I'll meet you back. I've officially got the whole thing inked in and I'm going to go ahead, go through and erase all of my lines. I love this part. It always looks so clean and neat after doing this. And I always feel so accomplished. Also, I really love the hand-drawn effect. The lens is a little bit wonky, as you can see, but I kind of like that. It makes it look more non-professional. Oops, and I just realized that I did not draw in the bloop, so let me draw that in real quick. Okay, there's always one part that I always forget to draw in, it seems like, whenever I am coloring something. So, okay, so it is officially time to draw everything, well, color everything in, and this part is going to be super fun. So what you're going to need, the colors, you can of course do these in any color you want to. These are just my preference, so I'm going to be deciding between these two greens. I am going to test them out on my pin page, which is located at the back of my crochet journal. It always helps me so I remember what color it is. So there's that color and there is that color. Ooh, I know what I'm doing. So those are the two colors right there. And I am definitely going with the bottom one. I like this one a lot better. So flipping back to my April page, I'm going to color in my camera, and the only thing that does not need the green color is this piece right here and this piece right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just carefully color it in, making sure to be careful going around all of the flower petals. I'm actually just going to go one by one piece by one piece on this, just so I make sure I don't mess it up. So going around those and around that, just so I know that I'm not supposed to color that in. Also, another downside to using highlighters is they do streak a bit, which is not my favorite thing in the world, but I'm willing to put up with it because I really like the colors and I have not been able to find them in actual marker form, and I've not been willing to pay so much for the alcohol-based markers because I bought one to try it out, like a single one, and it bled through the page like crazy, and I do not like it when my pins bleed through the page. I only tolerate it when it's like a black or something, because then on the other side I can fill it in with something else. There it is. The only streak that I do not like is that one right there, but I love it otherwise. And now I'm going to go ahead and grab some yellow to color in the flower centers. I'm going to be using this yellow color right here. This is from Hobby Lobby. It's Master's Touch Fine Art Studio, and it is in the multi-pack. This one, the multi-pack, and it is the only yellow one in there, so it's pretty easy to find. It does not have a color though. So it's just going in the middle. Very simple, very easy. And then I'm going to go through my markers on my pin page, the gray ones, and I'm going to figure out which one is the lightest color of gray, because you're going to need that for your daisy. If I cannot find a light colored gray, I'm going to have to scratch my idea. That's pretty dark. And then we have this one. Ooh, yeah, I'm not using that one. We're going to use this one, which is another one of the Master's Touch. It is the lighter gray color. And I'm going to use the fine side, and you're going to go into your daisy, and you're going to do little lines in each of the petals. I have no idea if you can see that Yeah, you can now. Okay. So you're just going to do 3 little lines in each of your petals. You don't have to do 3 on some of these. I'm just doing 2. And then on the little ones, I'm making them even shorter. It just gives the daisy a little bit more detail and makes it look more 3D. I really like it. Alright, and then with my gray, I'm also going to color in the Polaroid border. So I'm using the actual marker tip. There, perfect. Okay, now I need a black. You can use any black. I am going to also use a gray. So this dark gray that I said I wouldn't use earlier, I'm actually going to use it on this oval part. So you're going to go ahead and go in just like that all the way around, and then you're going to use your black to go into the center. It gives it a little bit of a 3D effect. And I know the detail we drew earlier doesn't show, but it's fine. Okay, then you're going to take your light gray again and use the fine tip. Draw several downstrokes in your light section, so just all the way up and down, just like that. Love it. And then I'm going to go ahead and give the April some more depth. So draw that and color it in. Do it again right there. Connect the A a bit more. Okay, so there's that. And now I'm going to go ahead and draw in the calendar section. So they don't have the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the top. So I am going to add that, starting with Sunday and ending with Saturday, just so I don't get the S's mixed up. So I just have that at the top. And now I'm going to go ahead off screen, write everything in. I'm actually going to go in with pencil first because drawing is one of my least favorite things to do, so because I always get the days wrong and everything, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this myself. A quick tip though is I'm going to be drawing lines down, so I will draw them and then I'll show them to you. So between every day of the week I went ahead and drew a line just so I can keep them straight as I go down. I'm going to do this off camera and I'll be right back. And there it is done. I did add another layer of highlighter to this. I feel like it makes it look a little bit better. There is the calendar and there is everything. I love how it turned out. This is probably my favorite one yet. And just in comparison, this is the inspo and this is what we came up with. I really like how theirs didn't streak like ours did, but that's the only thing. Also, I wish the yellow showed up a little bit more, but hey, that's okay. But anyway, I love how it turned out, and we're going to go ahead and go on to the goals page. Alrighty, so starting off, we are definitely writing April goals and plans at the top in simple handwriting. And this month, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different here at the bottom. So taking inspiration off of this right here where it has the little clothesline with the Polaroids, I'm going to go ahead and put my goals and plans in Polaroids on little clotheslines. So to do this, I am definitely starting out with pencil yet again, and going back to my March goals and plans, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 categories. So I'm going to do a row of 3 and a row of 2. So we're just going to draw a line. Ooh, wow, pretty going bad. We're going to draw a slightly curved line going up across the page, like that. Ignore this, that was my first attempt. Just like that. And then I'm going to draw it a little bit up towards the top. So, alright, that's better. And then we're going to draw one more. This time the curve is starting in this part and we're slanting down, just like that. Those are 2 curves. And now I'm going to go ahead and draw the Polaroids in. So Polaroids are pretty easy. All you're going to have to do is draw a rectangle and just the second one. Actually might have to do 3 on the bottom here. So let me see if I can fit them in at the bottom a little bit better. 1, 2, 3. I think that worked better. Now I'm just going to erase this one and put it a little bit more over to this side. Alrighty, so there's that. And then all you're going to have to do is draw a line inside a little bit on each one and down until you have about that much space left, and then you're just going to draw straight across, just like that. You're going to do that on all of them. I just did it on all of them, and it is pretty shaky, but we will get it better when it's drawn in. Now we're going to draw the clothespins, and all that is you're going to draw a skinny rectangle over each one of these, making sure that it goes all the way down to the picture and up across the line, and make sure that it goes over the picture a little bit. So over that first line that you have at the top. Okay, now you're going to go ahead and erase any lines that are inside of your clothespin so you have a cleaner workspace. And then you're going to draw a slightly curved line right above each of the pictures, just like that. And now that I have all of that, I'm going to go ahead and draw it in with pen. Now I have them all inked in. I'm going to go ahead and carefully write what each one is underneath, just like this. Okay. Now I'm in a dilemma, either right here or right here, because I really like having that open. We're going to do it underneath. So first up is Instagram, and then we're going to do YouTube, Etsy, patterns, and last but not least, goals. And there is that page all done. I really like how it turned out. I am going to be coloring in this part, the little clothespins. So I'm using this color. It is the Ladder Brown from the Master's Touch multi-set, and I'm just going to be lightly coloring in all of the little clothespins. The next page is going to be everything I crocheted in April 25. So we're of course just writing that out first. And then all we have to do is add the little Polaroid right here. So this is pretty cool because it ties in with our whole theme. What I do every month is I put in my favorite project in a Polaroid in the bottom corner. So that will be perfect to go along with our theme. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I am going to try to do it so I have more room this month because I'm going to give y'all a sneak peek. I have not done the final video on my March yet, but this is what I'm dealing with right now, and I am almost out of room, and I definitely have more to do. So I'm gonna try to do the Polaroid a little bit further down this time, grabbing my trusty test Polaroid. I am bringing it very, very, very close to the bottom of the page, and drawing in the little brackets, one right there, and one right there. Taking it off, and then carefully writing favorite project. And that is basically that page. I will go over the top here with another layer of ink, but that's pretty much it because I have so much writing to do, I don't do anything else. So I'm going to be doing a bonus page. Usually I have a lot of to-do lists spread out. This month I did a March to-do list, so I just put everything that I needed to do down and kept adding to it. So when I did it, I would check it off and add what I needed to do next. So on this next double page, I'm going to put April to-do list and maybe add something cute to this page. Okay, so now I have that in the corner, I am going to draw 3 daisies, just like we did with our cover page where we put the daisies beside the camera. Just gonna draw 3 daisies, and starting out with the medium one, large one, and the small one. And then of course adding the detail just like we did on the cover page with our gray marker, and then the centers with our yellow marker. And that's just something simple, but it will look cute once the whole page is filled up with things. I did just realize that I did not add a temperature log because I did the new format. So I'm going to go ahead and the page after my April, to-do list, I'm going to make a temperature log. And I'm going to try to find something cute here on Pinterest to try and replicate. So I found this. I'm not going to follow it exactly, but I am going to use the same format that they did. I'm not going to be using the key, but I am going to be doing everything else. So let's get started. First off, I'm going to be doing the title a little bit different than they did. So I'm going to be using my highlighter, my green one of course, and we're going to write out weather just like they did. Alright, so I like that, and it doesn't show up very good on screen, but it is more vivid in person. I'm going to go over it one more time with the highlighter, and then I'll show you what to do next. Next, I'm going to go ahead and with my pencil, I'm going to start over the E and write April. Just like that. Let me see if you can see it a little bit better. And then I'm going to go over it with ink. Okay, here we go. I-L with a long tail. And then we're going to just go over the April one more time to give it a bit of a thicker look. Highlighting in some things. Beautiful. And then I'm going to carefully erase my pencil lines. You got to be careful with the highlighter because the highlighter does not respond well to being erased. So there is that. I think that looks good. Next, I'm going to write out the days of the month in 2 columns. So I'm going to do 15 here and 15 here since it is 30 days in the month. And then I will meet you back. Alright, so I just wrote out all the days of the month, and in case y'all were wondering, I did go in with pencil first, and then I did pen over it. Next, I'm going to write temp beside each of these, so I'm going to write temp 30 times with a little line across, just like they did in theirs. Just like that, and I'll meet y'all back. And there it is completed. I really like how it turned out. Honestly, I might start doing this for the continuing months. I like having a separate page for it all. It makes it a lot easier to see and it's not as crowded. So let me give y'all a run through of what we have done. There is our beautiful cover page. I love how it turned out. If I could go back, I would use a different marker for this. Maybe even go with the yellow that they went with. But I love the color, so I'm happy with it. Next, we have our April Goals and Plans page that I will fill out later, but it has my Instagram, YouTube, Etsy, patterns, and goals, and I'll just write out all of my goals in there, and I love how that turned out too. I think that is such a cute idea, and you could do it for honestly anything. You could do it for lists. You could do 7 of these little Polaroids and do a weekly list or calendar to go through, which is super cute. Next, we have everything I crocheted in April 2025 page, which is very simple. I think this is always going to be my simplest page. Okay. Next, we have my April to-do list, and it doesn't look like much at the moment, but once I fill everything in, this will be a packed page, and I have the little flower details in the corner. Last but not least, we have our April weather tracker, and hopefully in April I will be able to start my temperature blanket finally. I don't know why I've been putting it off, but it'll be fun to see if I can actually do it. So there it is. Alright everyone, that's going to wrap up today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. This is definitely my favorite month yet, although I think I'll be saying that every month about my new layout. As always, if y'all do make a crochet journal or use the same layout that I do, please tag me if you post it on Instagram, Charity Rose Crochet, or send me pictures through my email, which is in the description box. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!